It's her birthday, and she's still useless. That's what my husband's sister said. Loud, clear, deliberate. I was standing there, holding the cake I had baked myself, candles already melting into the frosting. My name is Danielle Brooks. I'm 34, and that night, in my own living room, surrounded by his family, I realized something I should have seen years ago. I wasn't part of this family. I was just allowed to be there. "Say that again," I said. Not yelling, not shaking, just steady. She smiled, the kind of smile people use when they know no one is going to stop them. "You heard me," she said. "You're a failure. Not worth celebrating." No one corrected her. Not his mother, not his father, not even him. So I raised my voice, not to attack, just to draw a line. "Enough," I said. "You don't get to speak to me like that." My husband stood up so fast his chair scraped across the floor. "Don't talk to my sister like that," he said. "She just insulted me," I replied. "I don't care." Then, crack. His hand hit my face so hard I tasted blood. The room went still. He grabbed my arm, dragged me to the door, and shoved me outside. "Come back when you learn respect." The door slammed, and just like that, I was standing outside my own home, alone, but not broken, because something inside me had already changed, and they had no idea yet what they had just started. I didn't knock. That's the first thing I remember. I didn't bang on the door, didn't call his name, didn't beg. I just stood there, for a minute, maybe two, listening. Laughter came from inside, real laughter. Like nothing had happened, like I hadn't just been slapped and thrown out of my own house on my birthday. That's when it hit me. This wasn't anger, this wasn't a moment, this was normal, for them. I stepped off the porch slowly, no rush, no panic, just done. My phone was still in my hand, no messages, no calls, no "come back." I opened a ride app and booked a car. Destination, nowhere specific, just away. The driver didn't ask questions. I think he saw enough in my face. Halfway through the ride, I looked down at my reflection in the window. Red mark still visible. Hair, messy, mascara slightly smudged. But my eyes? They weren't crying. They were clear. Too clear. That's when I realized something important. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't confused. Some part of me had been expecting this. Not the slap, but the moment everything finally showed itself for what it really was. "Where to?" the driver asked after a few minutes. I paused, because for the first time in years, I wasn't going somewhere for him. I was choosing for myself. "Anywhere with a hotel," I said, and as the car turned the corner, I stopped thinking about going back. For good. The hotel wasn't special, clean, quiet, anonymous. Exactly what I needed. I checked in under my own name. No hesitation. No hiding, because I wasn't the one who did something wrong. I locked the door, sat on the edge of the bed, and finally let the silence settle. No shouting, no tension, no one watching me, waiting for me to say the wrong thing. Just quiet. I went to the bathroom and looked at myself properly. The mark on my cheek had darkened. My lip was slightly cut. Nothing serious, but enough. Enough to remember. Enough to document. I picked up my phone and took 3 photos. Front, side, close up. Not emotional. Not dramatic. Just evidence. Then I sat down and opened my email. There were messages from him now. 3. "You overreacted. You embarrassed me in front of my family. Come home when you're ready to apologize." I read them once. Then I closed them. No reply. Because this wasn't a conversation anymore. This was a pattern. And patterns don't change because you explain yourself better. They change when you stop participating. I reached into my bag, pulled out a small folder I had packed weeks ago, not for this exact moment, but for something like it. Important documents, copies, IDs, bank access details. I had started preparing before I even admitted it to myself. That's the truth no one talks about. Sometimes you leave long before you actually walk out. And that night, I finally did both. I woke up at 6:10 a.m. Not because I had to, because my body was done waiting. For years, mornings meant checking his mood, adjusting my tone, choosing my words carefully before the day even started. That morning, there was none of that. Just quiet and clarity. I made coffee with the cheap machine in the corner and opened my laptop. No hesitation. First step wasn't emotional. It was practical. I changed my passwords. Every account, email, banking, cloud storage, anything he might have access to, gone. Second step. I checked the joint accounts. Balance. Lower than it should have been. Not empty, but reduced. Gradually, over time, small amounts. Just enough not to trigger questions. I didn't panic, because now it made sense. The late-night expenses, the vague explanations. He wasn't just controlling the house, he was preparing for something. Just like I had been, the difference: I documented everything. I downloaded statements, saved transaction histories, time-stamped copies. Then I made one call. A lawyer, not someone new, someone I had quietly spoken to 2 months ago. Just in case. "I'm ready," I said. No explanation needed. On the other end, there was a short pause. Then, "Did something happen?" "Yes," I replied calmly. "It finally did." Another pause. "Then don't go back," she said. I looked out of the window. Sun rising. City waking up. "No," I said quietly. "I'm not." Because going back wasn't the risk anymore. Staying silent was. And this time, I wasn't going to do that. He showed up at the hotel at 9:17 a.m. I know the exact time because I saw his name flash on my phone first. Then the knock came. Sharp, controlled, familiar. I didn't rush to open the door. I checked the peephole. Same expression, same confidence, like nothing had changed. I opened it halfway. "What are you doing here?" I asked. "You left," he said. "So I came to get you." Get me. Like I was something misplaced. "I'm not coming back," I said. He exhaled slowly, like I was being difficult. "Danielle, don't make this bigger than it is." Bigger than it is. He glanced at my face, at the mark, then looked away. No apology, no acknowledgement. "Just apologize to my sister," he continued. "We'll move on." I stared at him. "You hit me," I said. His jaw tightened. "You raised your voice," he replied. That was his justification. That was enough. For him. "And you threw me out," I added. "You needed to calm down." I almost smiled. Not because it was funny, because it was predictable. "I've already spoken to a lawyer," I said. That stopped him. Just for a second. "You're overreacting," he said again. "Am I?" I asked. Then I opened the door wider. "Come in," I said. Not welcoming, not warm, just deliberate, because I wanted him to sit down. Look at me. And understand something he had never considered before. This wasn't a fight anymore. It was a turning point. And he had just walked into it. He stepped inside like he still owned the room. Looked around. Took in the space. Calculated. Always calculating. "This is unnecessary," he said, sitting down without being asked. "You could have just come home." Home. That word didn't mean the same thing anymore. I stayed standing. "I want you to listen," I said. He leaned back, arms crossed. "I'm listening." So I opened my laptop, turned it toward him, bank statements, transaction logs, timestamps, every small withdrawal, every transfer, every pattern. His expression didn't change at first. Then it did. Just slightly. "You've been moving money out of our joint account for months," I said. Slow enough not to trigger alerts, fast enough to build a separate reserve. He sat up. "That's my money too." "It was," I corrected. Silence. I clicked again. Another file. "Your sister's account," I said. "Multiple transfers. Same dates. Same amounts." He didn't deny it. Didn't explain, because he knew I could prove it. "This isn't about last night," I continued. "It's about everything leading up to it." He leaned forward now. Serious. "Whatever you think you found," "I didn't think," I said. "I verified." That shut him up. For the first time since he walked in. I closed the laptop slowly. "You hit me," I said. "That's one problem." I looked at him directly. "You plan to leave me with nothing," I added. "That's another." A pause. Then I said the one thing he wasn't ready for. "I'm not asking for anything back." That confused him. I could see it.
Because in his mind, this was always about money. What he didn't understand yet was that I had already moved past that, and what came next was going to cost him more than he ever planned to lose. He tried to recover. I could see it in the way he leaned back again, forcing control back into his posture. "You're making a mistake," he said. "This can get ugly." I nodded. "It already did," I replied. That's when his tone changed. Not calm, not controlled, tight. "You think a few statements change anything?" he said. "You have no proof of intent." Intent. He was right. On paper. It looked like planning, not theft. But he was missing something. "I don't need intent," I said quietly. He frowned, because now he was listening. "I have evidence of unauthorized transfers," I continued, "from a joint account, into accounts I never approved." "That's not illegal," he snapped. "It's a shared account." "Not when it's concealed," I replied. Silence. Then I reached into my bag and placed something on the table, a printed document. He looked at it, then looked again, because he recognized the header, his company name. "What is this?" he asked. "Internal payroll summary," I said. He didn't speak. "You've been routing personal transfers through business expense categories," I added. "Small amounts." Repeated. Now he understood. This wasn't just about me anymore. "This is nothing," he said quickly. "Accounting adjustments." "Maybe," I said. Then I leaned slightly forward. "But I've already shared it with someone who gets to decide that." That's when the confidence left his face. Not completely, but enough. Because suddenly, this wasn't something he could talk his way out of. And, for the first time, he realized he wasn't dealing with the same person he threw out last night. He didn't speak for a few seconds, just stared at the paper like it might change if he looked long enough. "Who did you send it to?" he asked. Not angry. Careful. That was new. I didn't answer right away, because this wasn't about the name, it was about the realization. "That doesn't matter," I said. "What matters is, it's not just with me anymore." Silence. Heavy. He looked up slowly. "You're trying to scare me." I shook my head. "No," I said. "I'm showing you what you built." That's when it clicked. Not everything, but enough. Because people like him don't fear confrontation, they fear exposure. And now, he had both. He stood up. No threats, no shouting. Just quiet calculation. "This isn't over," he said. I almost smiled. "It is for me," I replied. He hesitated at the door, like he wanted to say something else. An apology, maybe. An excuse. But he didn't. Because even he knew. It wouldn't fix anything. After he left, I packed slowly. Not rushing. Not looking back. By the afternoon, my lawyer had already filed the first motion. Not for money. Not for revenge. For separation. Clean. Documented. Final. A week later, I got a message. Not from him. From his sister. "You ruined everything." I read it once, then deleted it. Because the truth was simple. I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped protecting what was already broken. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel like someone's wife. I felt like myself.